out breath, empty the rib cage first, and then pull everything in the lower body back to the spine. And then finally adding the third part of this three-part yoga breath called Dirga breath also, and that's the throat. So on the next in-breath, again, fill the lower part first, then the rib cage in all three directions, and then the throat, so the area between the collarbones. And on the out breath, empty the top first, and the rib cage, and then the lower torso. So as we're breathing like that, in that very conscious way, relax somewhere, even if it's just the eyes that relax, or the inside of the ears or the mouth. And feel into the body. What sensations arise? Bring yourself here into all of the sensations, this breath, and soften into it. Let's take this breathing into our first vinyasa. Vinyasa is a movement aligned with the breath. Stretch out the fingertips to the floor, really lengthen into the arms, away from the shoulders, into the fingers, into the ground. Really press the sits bones into the surface you're sitting on. Feel how that lifts the heart and the crown of the head. And then on the next in-breath, turn the palms up and raise the arms up. Breathing out, push the air down with your hands. Feel the sensations in your hands as you do that. Again, breathing in, float up. Breathing out, down. 3 more times in your own rhythm. Breathing, softening somewhere and feeling. Pause for a moment, feel any effects of that simple motion. And then on the next breath in, stretch both arms up again. And on an out breath, lean over to your left side and grab the right wrist with your left hand. Pull the arm, the right arm, a little bit up and over. Keep both side bodies long. Breathe in and out here. Lift the heart out of the hips. Stretching both side bodies long. One more breath in. Breathing out, come back down. Feel the difference between the two sides for a moment. On the next in-breath, both arms float up again. Breathing out, lean to the right, grab the left hand or wrist with the right and pull the arm over and up, keeping both sides bodies long. Lifting the heart out of the hips. On the in-breath, lengthen. And breathing out, keeping the length deepen. And push both sits bones into the ground, especially the left one here as it tries to sneak off the ground. Breathe, relax somewhere and feel. Breathing in, come back up. Breathing out, release. On the next breath in, arms float up again. Breathing out, turn over to your right side and drop the arms front and back. Push into the fingertips in the floor. Lift the heart, push into the sits bones, lifting even higher. And breathing out, twist around that length. Again, breathing in, lifting. Breathing out, pull it all in towards the spine and twist. If you want more twist here, you can put the left hand on the top of the right knee and use that as leverage to push yourself around. A few more breaths in and out here. One more breath in. And breathing out, release back to the front. Feel the difference in the two sides if there is any. And on the next breath in, the arms float up again. Breathing out, other side for the twist. Again, breathing in, lengthen. Breathing out, pull it all towards the spine and twist, keeping the length. Push the sits bones into the ground. Push the fingertips down to lift the heart and the crown. If you want more leverage, put the right hand on top of the left knee. And keep lifting the heart out of the hips on the in-breath. Breathing out, pull it all in towards the spine and twist more deeply. One more long breath in and lengthen. Breathing out, return to center. Come to lie on your back here with the feet close to the seat. Feet are about hip-width distance apart. And on the next in-breath, raise the arms up behind your head, stretch as long as you can. Breathing out, bring them back down. A few more times on your own here, aligning breath with movement. And the next time you breathe in, lift the arms and push the feet into the ground. Lift the hips off the ground. And breathing out, curl into a ball. Pause here for a moment and roll around, make little micro movements and circles, however feels good. And when you're ready, on the next in-breath, open up again, feet push down, hips lift up, thighs stay parallel, arms reach behind you. And breathing out, curl into a ball. A few more times in your own rhythm here. Breathing, softening somewhere, and feeling. And each time lift the hips a little bit higher. Reach the tailbone away from your head a little bit further, lengthening the spine. Finding more and more depth in the pose. Last one. And then come to lie in the starting position again. Pausing, feeling any effects of this vinyasa. Put the arms out to the side. Put the feet to the edges of the mat and just let them drop, let the knees drop over to the right and just remain in the simple twist here. Move around with the knees a little bit, up and down, little circles to explore this twist. And then when you're ready, swoosh them over to the other side, to the left. Same thing here, little circles with the knees, exploring the twist. And then when you're ready, swoosh them over to the right. And find a rhythm to windshield wiper the knees back and forth from left to right. Let the upper body just kind of follow. And the next time your knees drop to the right, keep them there, stack them on top of each other. Put the right hand on top of the left knee and then reach long with the left hand to the other side. Turn the face towards the left. Supine twist. As before in the seated version, breathing in, lift the heart out of the hips. And breathing out, pull the belly towards the spine and twist more deeply while you keep the length of the in-breath. Few more breaths on your own here, always breathing in, lifting and lengthening. Breathing out, keeping the length, hugging the muscle to the spine and twisting more deeply. Breathe, soften somewhere and feel. One more breath in. On an out breath, unwind, put the feet back to the edges of your mat, swoosh or windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And then when you're ready, the next time your knees drop to the left, stack them on top of each other, left hand, top of right knee, and the right hand reaches to the side Face turns towards the right hand. And breathing in, lengthen the spine, lift the heart to the wall behind you. And breathing out, hug the muscles to the spine and deepen. As always, breathing, softening somewhere, and feeling into all these yummy sensations we're generating. One more breath in here. Breathing out, release. Feet come back to the edges of the mat. Windshield wiper the knees one more time here. And then when you're ready, the next time they drop to either side, roll over and push yourself up and come to a tabletop position. So the hands are at the front of your mat. If your wrists are okay and you can be on your palms, spread the fingers out, push all 10 fingertips into the ground. The knees are underneath your hips. Okay. If your wrists are yelling at you, you can roll up the mat a little bit and put just the heels of your hand on the mat. If that's still not enough, you can be on fists. And if that is still not enough of a release, you can have your elbows underneath your shoulders, fingers interlaced. So choose whichever version is good for your wrists here. I'm going to demonstrate it with the palms on the ground. So pushing all 10 fingertips into the ground, breathing in, drop the belly, lift the heart forward through the forearms and the upper arms. Cat. Let's stay here for a few moments and just explore. Wag the tail of your cat here. Maybe make a little C shape with your spine, drawing the right shoulder to the right hip, left shoulder to the left hip. Maybe circling the head a little bit around, just exploring your cat pose here. Excuse me, your cow pose. We're coming in cat next. And then on an out breath, push the ground away from you, round the spine, put the chin towards your chest, the tailbone reaches forward to your forehead, cat pose. And here to explore, make maybe a C shape with your spine, wiggle your hips back and forth. And when you're ready, on an in-breath again, come to cow, looking up, pulling the sits bones up, opening them, and breathing out, cat. A few more times in your own rhythm here. Always on the cow pose, really reaching the heart forward through the forearms. And on the out breath in cat, hugging the heart backwards into the back of your upper back. Find a neutral spine here again. And step the knees a couple of inches back from the hips, curl the toes under, take a deep breath in, and then breathing out, lift the sits bones back and up into your first down dog of the day. And explore your down dog here, reach one heel to the ground, bend the opposite knee, and switch sides. So walk out your dog here. Look under one shoulder and then the other one, wiggling back and forth your upper body. And then find some stillness in your pose. Reach the heels down to the ground, especially the inner heels. Feel how that opens the sits bones a little bit more. Reach the inner thighs backwards and up, opening the sits bones even more, widening the pelvis. Reach the heart between your thumbs and reach the belly to your thighs. Imagine you're trying to scrub the mat forward with your feet. So engage the muscles that bring more of the weight back into your feet. And at the same time, imagine you're trying to scrunch the mat together between your hands, widening the upper back. Breathe, soften somewhere, even in this often difficult pose, and feel. One more breath in. Breathing out, come down onto your knees, open the knees wide, and then sit down onto your heels into child's pose, the big toes touch. Find a place to rest for your forehead and see how quickly you can let go of all that work, of all that heat we generated in down dog. Relax as completely as possible in the next few breaths. Feeling the breath, filling not just your belly here, but also your lower back in this pose. And then in the next few breath cycles, slowly and mindfully make your way back to a down dog. Don't rush getting into your perfect pose right away, but explore it, pedal out your feet, or do whatever movements feel good here. And then when you're ready, find some stillness, reach the heels to the ground, reach the inner thighs back, press especially your inner feet downward to help open the sits bones a little more. Scrub the mat forward with your feet, deepening into the pose. Reach the heart between the thumbs, the belly to the thighs. And scrub the mat together between your hands, widening the upper back. Breathe, relax, and feel. Where can you soften, even with all that work going on? Deepen a little bit more into the pose. Can you reach the inner thighs back a little more? The heels down, the sits bones up. One more breath in and breathing out. Come to child's pose and again, let it all go completely as fast as you can, regenerating in this restorative pose. Soften the inside of your ears even, your eyes, your fingers. Let go everywhere completely. And in the next two breath cycles, slowly make your way back to a down dog. And this time, try to come into it fairly soon and engage all those points of adjustments. Heels reach down, sits bones up, inner thighs back. Press especially the inside of the feet down. Scrub the mat forward with your feet and together with your hands. Reach the heart between the thumbs, belly to the thighs. Few more breaths in here. Get into the deepest expression of your pose. And then take a deep breath in and breathing out. Step or jump the feet behind your hands. Hang in ragdoll. Bend the knees so your upper body can comfortably kind of cascade over your lower body. Interlace the arms at the elbows. Just rock the upper body side to side around the sides of your feet. Let the head hang, shake it no. Shake it yes. Take one more deep breath in. And then breathing out, bending the knees, pushing into the feet, roll up vertebra by vertebra through the spine. Let the head hang to the chest. When you're ready to raise the head, shrug the shoulders up, turn the thumbs out, and let the shoulder blades slide down your back. Feel the lift of your heart as you do that. And at the same time, drop the tailbone down. Turn the palms, but not the elbow creases, towards the sides of your body and reach down through your fingertips as far as you can. Melt the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine the inner ears soften. That can help release the shoulders down. Soften your gaze and your face. Push all four corners of the feet into the ground. And on the next in-breath, the arms float up. Breathing out, press the air down, prayer posture at the heart. Again, breathing in, arms float up. Breathing out, prayer posture at the heart. Next in-breath, arms float up again. On an out-breath, sit back into chair's pose, like your seat reaches for a chair that's not there. Press the feet into the ground and try to turn the heels out to the sides of your mat. Feel how that opens the sits bones again. Reach the inner thighs down and back, opening the sits bones even more. Lift the heart out of the hips. One more breath in and out, and breathing in, come all the way up again. Breathing out, prayer posture. Breathing in, the arms float up. Breathing out, sit back into your chair pose, Utkatasana. And again, reach back with the sits bones to that non-existent chair. Reach the inner thighs down and back. Scrub the heels out to the side of your mat. Opening the sits bones here, lifting the heart out of the hips, lengthening the spine. One more breath in and out. And on an in-breath, come back up. Breathing out, prayer posture. One more time into the chair, breathing in, arms float up. Breathing out, sit back. Breathing in, prayer posture at the heart. Breathing out, turn over to your right side. The elbow goes to the outside of the right knee. Breathing in, lengthen the spine, lift the heart out of the hips. And then push into your palms to twist yourself around. And keep reaching the inner thighs back and down. Keep reaching the heart out of the hips. One more breath in and out. On an in-breath, come back forward, arms lift, and breathing out, other side. And don't forget to breathe deeply into the belly here. Soften somewhere and feel into all this intensity we're generating. So the in-breath lifts the heart out of the hips. The out-breath keeps the length, hugs the muscle to the bone, and you twist around more deeply. One more breath in and out. Breathing in, come back up. And breathing out, Tadasana. Take a few moments to calm your breath here. Find the perfect Tadasana stance again. Push your feet into the ground, lifting the heart and the crown. Dropping the tailbone, softening the face. Take a few more moments to calm your breath. Maybe closing the eyes here to help that. And then on the next breath in, the arms float up again. Breathing out, touch the ground, even if you have to bend your knees. Breathing in, lengthen the spine, push into either your shins or the floor to lengthen your spine and get some traction. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Here too, open the sits bones, reach the inner thighs back. Imagine you're scrubbing your heels out to help that opening of the sits bones here. Long spine, lift the heart forward. One more breath in. Breathing out forward and breathing in, push into the feet and roll the spine up, palms touch above. Breathing out, prayer posture. I'll start the same way and add the warrior poses. Breathing in, lift up. Breathing out, touch the ground. Breathing in, lengthen the spine. And breathing out, step the right foot back into a lunge. Really get a good stance here, scrub the feet together, side to side and front to back, and then come up into a warrior one. Shrug the shoulders to the ears, turn the thumbs out, drop the shoulders down, lift the heart, and then raise the arms up into your full warrior one. crunch the mat together between your feet, both front to back and side to side. This time, scrub the front heel to the right side of the mat. So you're doing an outer spiral in the upper thigh here. One more breath in. Breathing out, the arms windmill down to the ground. Breathing in, step into plank. And breathing out, knees, chest, and chin to the ground, chaturanga. Breathing in, come into your back bend here, cobra or up dog. And breathing out, down dog. 3 long breaths here. Reach the inner thighs back, the heels to the ground, sits bones up, heart to the ground. And then on the next breath out, the right foot steps forward between the thighs or between the hands. Scrub the mat together, front to back, side to side. Come up into a warrior one. Shoulders shrug to the ears, thumbs out. Melt the shoulder blades down, lifting the heart. Warrior one arms. Keep scrubbing the mat together to get a good stance. Keep deepening into that front knee and into the front hip crease. And scrub the front heel to the right of your mat. So you're getting that spiral, deepening you into the warrior pose. One more breath in. Breathing out, the arms come down to the ground. Breathing in, step up and straighten the spine. Breathing out, forward. Breathing in, the arms float up, the arms touch above. And breathing out, prayer posture. Couple of breaths here in and out to calm the heart and the breath. And on the next breath in, the arms float up again. Breathing out, touch the ground. Breathing in, lift the heart forward, halfway lift. Breathing out, right foot back into a lunge. Breathing in, come into warrior one right away. One breath in and out here. One more breath in. Breathing out, prayer posture at the heart, and breathing in, open it up into warrior two. Adjust the feet so your front heel bisects the back foot. Scrub the mat together between your feet and deepen into the front hip crease and the front knee. Imagine you're pushing a wall away from you with your fingertips, both front and back. So lengthen one long line away from your heart into your shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Keep deepening into the front knee and the front hip crease. Scrub the front heel to the right side of your mat, getting deeper into the front leg. One more breath in. Breathing out, bend the front elbow, lean forward over the front knee. The upper arm comes in line with the back leg. One long line from the back heel to the right fingertips. If you want, you can reach the left hand downward and touch the ground here. Keep scrubbing the mat together between your feet, scrubbing the right heel to the right side of your mat, and working that right buttock below your upper body here, deepening into the side angle pose. One more breath in and out. On the next in-breath, swing the top arm back, come into a reverse warrior. So you touch or support yourself on the back leg and reach up and back with your left hand now. Keep scrubbing the mat together, deepening into the front knee. One more breath in. Breathing out, windmill the arms down into a low lunge. Breathing in, plank pose. Breathing out, chaturanga. Breathing in, your version of a back bend. And breathing out, down dog. Feel free to come to a child's pose here. you want more of a regenerative pose. And then meet us in down dog in about 3 breath cycles. Wherever you are, breathe, soften somewhere as much as you can, and feel. The tendency might be to want to turn away from the discomfort and the hard work. In yoga, we're turning towards it. We're working with it. We're working with that edge we're creating. One more breath in here. Breathing out, the right foot steps forward into a lunge. Breathing in, come into warrior one. Scrub the mat together between your feet. One more breath in here. Breathing out, prayer posture. And breathing in, come into warrior two. Adjust the feet as needed. Scrub the mat together between your feet, deepening into the front knee. Scrub the front heel to the left side of your mat to get that outer spiral here, and work the right hip underneath your body more. Reach into the fingertips, both front and back. Lift the heart out of the hips. Drop the tailbone at the same time. One more breath in. Breathing out, side angle pose, either with your elbow on your knee or your hand on the ground. The upper arm reaches in line, but away from the back foot. Lift the heart out of the hips. Breathe, soften, and feel. And keep scrubbing the front heel to the left side of the mat, working that right hip underneath the body. One more breath in and out. On an in-breath, swing the top arm back into a reverse warrior. Deepen into the front knee. Scrub the front heel to the left. Lift the heart out of the hips. One more breath in. Breathing out, windmill the arms down. Breathing in, step up, lengthen the spine. Breathing out, fold. And breathing in, the hands swing up, touch above. Breathing out, Tadasana. Take a few moments again to calm your breath. Maybe close your eyes if you wish. So after all that hard work, it's going to be an extra challenge to do a balancing pose. So let's try it. Feel free to step towards something where you could kind of put your hand down in order to support yourself. Let's do tree pose. Put more and more weight into your left foot with a straight left knee, and then walk the right foot to the inside of the left ankle. And then if that's already enough of a challenge for you, you can stay there. If you want to work a little more, you can put your foot either on the calf or all the way to the inside of your inner thigh or upper thigh. The right knee points straight to the side. So you're like pressed between a pane of glass here. The left foot is strong on the ground as the trunk of your tree. Choose a position for your hands, either prayer posture at the heart or open arms above with the shoulders melted from the ears. Or if that's available to you, if you don't crunch into the shoulders, you can have a prayer posture above your head with your hands. So choose whichever pose you'd like. Wherever you are, melt the shoulders away from the ears. Keep pushing all 4 corners of the left foot into the ground. Soften the face. Gaze at a point about 7 feet in front of you. Watch what happens as you steady your pose, you steady your breath. Watch what happens to your mind here and your whole awareness. And push the right foot into the left thigh and vice versa. To come out of it, first mindfully release the arms and then release the legs, shake it out. It's perfectly normal to shake there, especially after the vinyasas we just did. And if you ever need to fall out of it, don't be embarrassed. I do that all the time. Sometimes I make a class actually fall out of the pose on purpose to kind of show that's the most normal thing in the world. But also feel free to, put a hand on a chair or a wall or whatever you want to support yourself. Other side, all four corners of the right foot press down. The inside or the bottom of the left foot comes to the inside of the right leg, either at the ankle or the calf or all the way on the thigh. The left knee points straight to the side. The heart lifts out of the hips. The foot pushes down, growing into the crown of our tree. And then find a place for your hands, wherever feels right. Find steadiness in your pose. Keep pushing down into the earth, growing from your trunk. Keep lifting the heart here, the crown, melting the shoulders from the ears, softening in the face. Eyes are steady on a drishti, meaning a point of focus, about 7 feet in front of you. Breathe, soften somewhere, and feel. And watch what your mind does as we're balancing here. As we still the body and still the breath. To come out of it, mindfully gather the hands downward and then the feet, shake it out if you'd like. Step the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, the toes slightly out, and come to sit in a squat. And just let your lower back release here. Reach the heels to the ground if that's available to you. Put the elbows in between your knees and lever your knees open by putting your palms together. Lift the heart out of the hips here and draw the tailbone down. Breathe. Relax, especially in the lower back and the hips here. And feel. One more breath in and breathing out. Come to sit on your seat again. Put the bottoms of your feet together and walk them fairly close towards your seat. Hold on to the feet with your hands. And then reach the knees, instead of reaching them down to the ground, which will eventually happen as our hips open, but imagine you're trying to reach the knees out and behind you. I know that's kind of impossible, but try to visualize that. Instead of just thinking, bring the knees down into this hip opener, reach them out to the sides and then behind you. And at the same time, pull yourself forward with your hands lifting the heart out of the hips. Baddha Konasana, seated bound angle pose. Stay here for a few breaths, allowing these big muscles in the hips to open. Softening somewhere and feeling as we're breathing the three-part yoga breath. And keep reaching those knees out and back. And feel how they're reaching towards the ground, even though you're not really trying that. One more breath in here. Breathing out, release. Step the feet out in front of you, wider than the mat, and just let the knees windshield wiper back and forth here. The next time your knees drop to the left, kind of arrange them so your left foot comes to the top of the right knee and your right knee comes in a little bit towards the body. Reach both sits bones to the ground. If they don't reach, you might need to bring the right heel in a little bit more. Lift out of the hips, lift the heart out of the hips on an in-breath, grounding both sits bones down. And then on the out breath, twist over towards your left. The right hand comes to the top of the left knee, levering you around. Breathing in, lift the heart. Breathing out, twisting more deeply. Connecting both sits bones to the ground as best as you can. One more breath in. Breathing out, release. Take a deep breath in here. And then breathing out, come forward over your left shin for a hip stretch. To increase the intensity of the stretch, you can make your shin more parallel to the mat. And if you have a full pigeon pose practice, you can also reach the right leg behind you and straighten it and come into the full version of pigeon. I prefer this version with a bent right leg because it's a little bit easier on the knees, but you choose which one you want. So in both poses, reach both sits bones to the ground and reach the heart to the ground over the left shin. Relax the neck and the head. You could rest the head on your hands or on the ground or on a block if that's handy. And just take a few deep breaths in and out here to release those big muscles in the outer left hip. Breathing, softening, and feeling. If you think you're in the deepest part of your pose, find another place where you can soften and deepen. Using your breath centered to that area where you want to release. A few more breaths in and out here. Where else can you soften and let go? And then on the next in-breath, slowly walk yourself back up. With the feet out in front of you, as wide as the mat. Wiggle or windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And the next time your knees drop to the right, again, put your right heel on top of the left knee this time. Connect both sits bones to the ground. Breathe in, lift the heart and the crown. And then on an out breath, twist over to your right. The left hand goes on top of the right knee. Breathing in, lift the heart. Breathing out, hug everything to the spine and twist. If you were here last week, you can also engage the bandhas. So on the out breath, pull the pelvic floor up and the belly towards the spine. One more breath in. Breathing out, release, come back forward. Take another deep breath in, connect the sits bones to the ground, and then walk yourself forward, coming to rest over your right shin. And again, to get a bigger stretch, you can move the shin so it's more parallel to the front of your mat. And if you want, you can walk the left leg behind you into the full pigeon pose. So whichever hip stretch you prefer here, we'll stay here for a few breaths to really let the muscles release. Pull the toes of your right foot towards the knee so the knee stays in alignment. Rest the head somewhere, could be on the ground or on your hands. And again, breathe, soften somewhere, and feel. And if you think you reached your edge, Find another place where you can let go and soften. Sending the breath to any areas that seem tight, that could use a little more relaxation. And maybe trying just even releasing tension in the face, the eyes, the ears. And noting if that doesn't help deepen into the pose further. One more breath in here and out, and breathing in slowly. Come back up. Windshield wiper the knees back and forth again to loosen out the hips. And we're going down to the ground now for a few more postures and our final relaxation. So if you want to grab a blanket to cover up with, go ahead and do that. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, lift the heart, and breathing out, slowly roll your spine down onto the ground. Put the feet close to your seat here. Walk the shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath in and at the same time push the feet into the ground. Lift the hips off the ground, keeping the thighs parallel, the tailbone pointed to the wall in front of you. Walk the shoulder blades together underneath your back, interlace the hands, push the arms into the ground, bridge pose. Keep pushing into the feet, reaching the tailbone long, reaching the heart to the wall behind you, behind your head, into this gentle back bend. Breathe, soften somewhere, and feel. Note if you can push a little bit more into your arms and your feet to lift a little higher. You can reach the heart back even further. You can lengthen the tailbone away from the head even longer. Finding the fullest expression of your pose here for these last few breaths. One more breath in. Breathing out, let the arms go out to the side and lay the spine down like a string of pearls. And then hug the knees to the chest, rolling it out for a few moments. Before coming into happy baby pose, the knees reach to the underarms on both sides. And you can either grab the insides of your feet, the soles of your feet, or the outsides. I prefer the insides, but take your pick. And then pull down on your feet. The feet point straight up to the ceiling, so they're parallel with the ceiling. And you're pulling straight down on the soles of your feet to reach the knees towards your underarms. If that feels too vulnerable and too uncomfortable, you can just hug the knees to the chest. So whichever you prefer. Breathing, softening, feeling. You can roll around here a little bit if you want to make this pose a little more dynamic. You can stay here for a few more moments, or you can take a minute or so to finish up with whichever poses or stretches you would like here to finish your practice. And in about a minute or so, we'll all meet in Shavasana. So in Shavasana, your arms are spread away from the body about 40-45 degrees, palms up. The legs are about 40 degrees from midline. The toes fall out naturally. Get comfortable. Maybe spread the seat out a little so you can lie right on your pelvic bones. Walk the shoulder blades under your back so you can open the heart a little more. Your upper back is fully supported, and let go. Shavasana means corpse pose. It's a surrender away from the practice. So completely release your body to the ground, let it support you. Release your mind and let go. I will be playing music for a few moments over the microphone, so you won't hear me for a while. Namaste. 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 Slowly start deepening your breath again. And when you're ready, bring some movement back into your body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes or rubbing your thumb over your fingertips. And stretching out slowly as you'd like to come out of this. And when you're ready to sit up again, roll to the right side into a fetal position. Stay there for a couple of breaths, making that a conscious pose. And slowly push yourself up to seated again. Find a comfortable seat, either on your heels or in an easy pose with your feet crossed in front of you. Connect with your sits bones, maybe lean forward, push or pull the fleshy part of your seat out again so you can connect the sits bones to the ground. Really push into them again to lift the heart and the crown. Find a conscious position for your hands again, either palms down or palms up, whatever feels right. And sit here for a few more moments, maybe keeping the eyes closed, breathing, softening, feeling, and watching the bodily sensations that we have, what the mind is doing. Maybe noting the before and after, what you felt like when you came here to the practice and what you feel like now. And then allow the eyes to open again. Let's gather the hands at the heart in a prayer posture. Thank you so much again for your practice tonight. Namaste.